Qualitative technique means the quantity and availability of credit remaining the same, no change. The quantity and availability of credit remaining the same, it is diverted. Purposefully, the available quantity of credit is diverted towards desired channels. Towards desired channels, it is diverted without increase or decrease. No increase, no decrease. It is diverted. Available quantity of credit is diverted towards the desired direction. For example, suppose RBI and Government of India is of opinion that IT development is very necessary. IT sector development is very necessary, so that the available credit, more available credit may be diverted towards IT sector. You may give loan for a IT development purpose, more loan at a liberal rate may be allowed, restraining, controlling loan for other purposes. Or suppose the Reserve Bank of India finds that the farmers are committing suicide and there is no sufficient money to the cultivators, farmers are in poverty, they want more purchasing power. It is possible to divert the available credit towards agricultural sector. A liberal policy may be adopted for farm loans. Farmers may be at a cheaper rate, loan facilities may be given, so that available credit may be diverted towards the farm field or IT field or industrial field. To any sector you want, you can divert. Whereas the total quantity, no change. As in case of the first method, quantity variation is not there, but qualitatively it is diverted towards desired direction. That is the difference between a quantitative technique on the one side and a qualitative technique on the other. And this qualitative technique, another difference is that the qualitative technique is a selective technique. It is not a general technique, it is a selective technique, affecting certain, not affecting others. One purpose it is affected, another purpose, no, it is not affected. And so that it is supposed to be a discriminating policy. Which one? Qualitative technique. Qualitative technique is a discriminative technique because it is affecting certain and certain others are not at all affected. As it is a discriminating technique, it is not a general technique, we say it is a selective technique. It may sometimes affect one region, it may not affect the other region. It may affect one sector of the economy, the other sector will not be affected. It may affect one section of the people, the other section may not be affected. Which instrument? Qualitative instrument. Our qualitative instrument is a selective type, it is not a general type. Whereas the quantitative technique is a general instrument. A quantitative technique is a general technique, equally applicable to all sectors and all region and all purposes. Equally applicable to all regions and all sections and all area by a quantitative technique. Qualitative, selective, it is not general an instrument. Then about two types. Then coming over to the quantitative technique. Quantitative technique can be of two types. Quantitative techniques can be two types. That is traditional instrument, modern instruments. There are two types of instruments we use for quantitative technique. One is called a traditional instrument and the other is called modern instrument. Traditional instrument means sometimes for the last so many years, sometimes in the beginning itself we started using such types of instrument, traditionally introduced instrument, but does not mean that it is not now used. It is only earlier technique and now it is not used. No, that is not the meaning. Even today it is developed Years back, traditionally it is developed, but even today, traditional instruments are widely applied. Even today, traditional instruments are very useful, and we are using occasionally the traditional instrument of monetary policy also. The traditional instruments are three in number. One, bank rate policy. Two, open market operation policy. Three, cash reservation ratio policy. Traditional instruments of quantitative technique. Traditional instruments of quantitative techniques are three in number: bank rate, open market operation, variable cash reservation ratio (CRR). Variable cash reservation ratio (CRR), open market operation, bank rate. These are all the three traditionally used instruments. Over here, first traditional, bank rate. Bank rate means the minimum rate at which central bank of a country rediscounts an eligible financial paper. Rediscounts a eligible financial paper. Bank rate is the minimum rate at which the central bank of a country rediscounts eligible bill financial paper. Eligible financial paper. For example, traditionally the eligible financial paper for discounting was bills of exchange. Trade bill, we have already seen what is a bill of exchange, what is a trade bill. And by rediscounting the bill of exchange, it is possible. It is possible to give loan facilities to the farmer, the commercial bank. For example, bill of exchange we know. What is bill of exchange? A kind of promissory note when there are goods in transit. A and B are suppose traders are very popular traders. A and B are very popular traders. A is purchasing commodity from B. A is purchasing commodity from B worth rupees 1 lakh suppose. 1 lakh rupees worth of commodity A buys from B. A is buyer, debtor. B, seller, creditor. He is to get 1 lakh from A. 1 lakh rupee to A. And suppose 1 lakh rupee, A is not having 1 lakh rupee to pay in the present transaction, trading. If it is in cash, immediately paid, that technique is what is called cash and carry principle, spot trade principle. Pay cash, take commodity. But suppose A, the debtor, says that I have no money to give you now, then the trade will not be completed. Instead of that, B, the creditor, is writing a promissory note on debtor and get the promissory note accepted by debtor A. Now the promissory note is written by the creditor and A, debtor, agrees the terms. Then this promissory note is what is called bill of exchange. We have already seen that is called bill of exchange, because a bill of exchange is a kind of promissory note when there are goods in transit. When there are goods in transit, a kind of promissory note is what is called a trade bill. And we know what is the maturity period of a bill of exchange universally. Universally, the maturity period of a bill of exchange is 3 months or 90 days. Before 90 days or on the 90th day, the money should be returned. That is only one agreement. And so the creditor, the drawer, would have to wait for 3 months to get money back from the debtor. Before 90 days, suppose B, the creditor, want immediately money. There is another facility. What is the facility? Discounting facility. He can approach, B can approach discount house. There are specialist institutions. Discount house, their main job is discounting bills of exchange. They will take a commission. That is discount rate. A discount rate, a commission is taken by the discount house, balance money is given. And sometimes commercial bank will also give this facility to their customer. B is a customer of a commercial bank C. Then C commercial bank will discount and give immediately money after taking the commission, money, liquidity cash B will get from his commercial bank through discounting process. Now this bill of exchange is in the possession of commercial bank. The bill of exchange is now in the possession of commercial bank, and many such bill of exchange discounted for different person, commercial bank may be in possession. Commercial bank may possess many such bill of exchange discounted for different persons and waiting for the maturity period. This is an asset to the commercial bank. It is an asset to the commercial bank because this bill of exchange commercial bank can take to the Reserve Bank of India if they want a loan. If the commercial bank is urgently in need of a loan, it can approach the Reserve Bank of India. RBI is ready to give this bill of exchange rediscounted and give loan facility to the commercial bank. In order to get a loan facility from the Reserve Bank earlier, method was what? Bill of exchange is taken by the commercial bank and get it rediscounted. Already it is discounted by the commercial bank. Once again, it is rediscounted by the Reserve Bank of India and pay the amount to the concerned commercial bank. Commercial bank will get money on discount. This is what is called the discounting process, rediscounting process. And the rate of discount is what is called bank rate. Bank rate is the rediscounting rate of a bill of exchange or eligible financial paper. This bill of exchange is an eligible financial paper for a loan from the RBI. So that discount rate is what is known as bank rate. Suppose the commercial bank is approaching for this loan. Commercial bank is taking this bill of exchange for rediscounting facility during inflationary period. Commercial bank is taking the bill of exchange to RBI for a loan during inflationary period. What is the policy of the Reserve Bank of India during inflationary period? What is the policy? Dear money policy. What do you mean by dear money policy? Make money costlier and costlier. What the Reserve Bank will do during inflationary period? Increase the bank rate. Increase the bank rate because that is the intention of the RBI. Don't give loan. Already too much quantity of money and credit in circulation. Reduce that credit and supply of money. That is the intention of the Commercial Reserve Bank of India. Our RBI, in order to avoid this loan, put a high discount rate, so that commercial bank will find it is very costlier to get the bill of exchange rediscounted from the RBI, because RBI is having a policy of dear money during inflationary period. What is the policy during inflationary period? As bank rate policy, increase the bank rate. Suppose this commercial bank is approaching the Reserve Bank of India for a loan during depression period. During depression period, suppose the commercial bank is approaching the RBI for a loan. What is the intention? What is the policy during depression? Cheap money policy. Because RBI was waiting to pump money into the economy. At that time, the commercial bank is coming and asking for a loan. When at a cheaper rate, reduce the bank rate. Reduce the bank rate and a cheaper rate rediscount facility provided to commercial bank. Many commercial bank will approach the Reserve Bank of India, get their bill of exchange rediscounted, get money, and that money may be used for loan lending capacity. And so you may remember only so much. What is that? During inflationary period, bank rate should increase, and during depression period, bank rate should reduce. Reduce the bank rate during depression period as a cheap money policy. Increase the bank rate during inflationary period as a dear money policy. So much alone you may remember.